Well, it is Tuesday, Monday's hangover, but I said we were going to get to all these things that we missed yesterday, but forget it. More stuff has happened, Brandon. More stuff has happened. The white supremacy in this country is out of control. I don't know if you realize it or not, but Joe Biden, as he said the week before last at that commencement speech, Howard University, that white supremacy is the greatest terroristic threat to America right now. It is such a threat that they're actually outsourcing white supremacy to India now. Last night, I guess he's a teenager, rammed into the, when you're in Washington, D.C., I don't know if you guys have been there or not. I'm sure a lot of you have. But they have these, they have those big stakes that come up out of the ground, right? They can take them up or down. It's sort of like out in front of Walmart, how they got the concrete poles out there, so you can't just drive through the glass doors there. And they have those that can go up or down. They're like barricades. They're barriers. They come up about, 4 or 5 feet up out of the ground, these metal spikes. And it looks to me like that's what he ran into. I don't think he ran into the gate of the White House, but he drove the U-Haul. Do we have the video of that thing? Can we pop it up there? Let's take a look at this thing right here. If nothing else, at least show the face of the guy. Anything? Nothing? What's that? Yeah, let's see his face. So there he is. That's Sai Varshith Kandula, 19 years old, from Chesterfield, Missouri. I mean, that's the whitest effing place I've ever heard of right there. Shout out to Chesterfield, Missouri. But he smashed into the security gate at Lafayette Park, which is in front of the White House gates. And there's the gate right there. All 6 feet of the drive.
They must have been scared for their lives.
I mean, listen, it's kind of scary when you think about what could be in that U-Haul truck when you got 30 tons of ammonium nitrate missing.
That's true. I have been watching the Waco series on Showtime.
Yeah.
And they shown Timothy McVeigh getting his U-Haul truck.
Yeah.
Surprisingly looked just like that one.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at all of that stuff. I mean, could have been deadly, could have been dangerous. I don't want to make light of that, of course, but you have to make light of it when they pull a Hindu out and then they lay a Nazi flag out on the ground. And I'm like, what was his motive? Did he get fired from AT&T? Was he mad because they took Apu off of The Simpsons? I mean, what's the beef here? I mean, was he going to check the warranty on Hunter Biden's computer? Was this the Geek Squad?
He probably got turned down for a promotion at 7-Eleven.
Was he a part of the FBI's language program? I mean, the hits keep coming on this deal right here. I mean, it's like did he used to work for Twitter? Did he get downsized by Elon Musk? I mean, what's the freaking protest here? I mean, I'm just glad that the truck didn't have a Bombay. I mean, white supremacy is so prevalent in the United States of America that they had to find a Vishnu.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, listen, I don't care anymore. I don't care if people are like, oh, you're telling offensive jokes. You're damn right. You're damn right at this point. They're playing you guys. They are playing you guys. I will pull every damn stereotype in the world out and be like, I am going to bomb the White House. I will take him down. Let's go to Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. I mean, did he not get a call back on the interview? You know what? But they pull this Nazi flag out, right? Because that's every time, he's charged with 5 crimes. And every time there is a crime scene, that's what you do is you pull all the evidence out for the news media to look at it. I'm being facetious. That's actually not what you do. But they pull the thing out, lay it out perfectly on the ground where you can see it. And then there is a law enforcement officer in the video later on who comes out there and just neatly folds it, wraps it up, picks it up, carries it off. Make sure that you can see the swastika. Oh, my God, this is so dumb. But There it is. White supremacy in America. The face. Put him back up there. Put old Sai Varshith Kandula of Chesterfield, Missouri. The face of American white supremacy right there. We just had a, Hispanic guy shoot up the mall in Allen, Texas, and now we got Sai Varshith Kandula, age 19, Chesterfield, Missouri. He was charged with he threatened to kill, kidnap, or harm the president, vice president, or family member. That's what police told W. And here's the thing, dude. They'll get this spun around so bad. Like if they choose to keep this in the deal, like if they choose to keep this in the media cycle, the news cycle, they'll get this thing spun around. There will literally be Twitter rerees on there arguing for the reasons why this guy is a white supremacist. Now, remember what I told you last week. All you got to do to be a white supremacist is just not be black. Like if you're a lighter shade of cocoa or caramel or nougat, you are white supremacist.
How far away do you think we are from a literal black white supremacist? That's got to be next on the bingo deck, right?
Well, Clayton Bigsby,
who's apparently
the
was
old
a
Dave
premonition.
Chappelle.
Yeah.
The blind Klans member who didn't even know he was black. Clayton Bigsby. He was the predecessor to the black white supremacist. Oh boy! But again, they want to make sure that you know that there was a Nazi flag reportedly retrieved from the cab of the truck. He drove it, and I don't want to make light of it. I don't want to make light of anything like this because you get a situation like this, and it could be bad. I don't want to make light of the fact that he rammed the gate of the White House. Now, who it was, I'll make light of that all day long. But the fact that he drove, 8 feet and the U-Haul truck stopped.
I'm so curious as to if he literally drove there with nothing, just an empty U-Haul with one flag in it.
Yeah.
Because that's just what I've been trying to understand all morning is, did he really drive an empty U-Haul? Like, did he just go on like 4chan and was like, well, they all have U-Hauls. I have to have a U-Haul to ram the gate.
Well, okay. Let's say, Brandon, you woke up this morning and you wanted to plan an attack on the White House.
Uh-huh.
It was going to be you, a Nazi flag, and an 18-foot rental. Like, that was the plan. What is the end game? What's the goal? I'm gonna fight off the Secret Service. I'm gonna get past the anti-aircraft missiles on the roof of the White House.
Yeah.
The snipers. I'm going to get past the yard sensors. Because they have compression sensors in the ground where if somebody jumps the fence, they know it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get past all of that. I'm gonna run in there. I'm gonna get old Joe out of bed. And we're going to get him in his nightgown, and snatch his little nightcap off. And I'm going to tie him up, duct tape him, and I'm going to throw him in the back of the truck. And then what? We're going to drive off. What was the game, I hear? Were you trying to commit suicide? This whole deal at this point is, you understand why people look at this and go, this is a setup. Like, this is a big Fed setup.
Yeah, well, that, and you saw the 50 satellite phones or whatever they handed out.
Yeah.
To the Congress members. That was the other thing I thought of, was like, that's a little odd timing-wise.
It is. I mean, so you have 30 tons of ammonium nitrate that goes missing off of a train. Now, again, that could be leakage. That could be spillage. I've heard a lot of people on Twitter. I was up till 2:30 in the morning reading comments and just couldn't sleep. I was back up again at 7 a.m. reading comments. And, there's a lot of people saying, I was a train conductor. It's easy to lose stuff. If you're losing 30 tons of ammonium. Now, okay, so let me put this in perspective. Timothy McVeigh, when he blew up the Murrah building in Oklahoma City, he had a U-Haul truck with diesel fuel and the ammonium nitrate. That's not 30 tons. 30 tons is about what it took to basically level the city of West Texas when that fertilizer plant blew up. I mean, you could feel that explosion 50 miles away. that's the level of what we're talking about. So there were people on there saying, well, I was a train conductor. I worked on the trains, and there can be spillage because this was like not the fine, fertilizer powder type stuff. This was the bigger chunks of it that was like on a big coal train deal. So there could have been spillage. 30 tons is a lot. And they said, if you'll just follow the tracks, you'll find it over the next few days. It'll turn, colors and you'll be able to see it. I don't know. I'm speaking out of my ass on a lot of that because I'm just going off of the Twitter experts. I personally don't know what color ammonium nitrate turns. But it's concerning. It is concerning. And apparently this went missing a little while ago. It didn't just start missing yesterday. This has been missing for a minute. And then they hand out the 100 satellite phones to the senators, and only 50 of them take the satellite phones, which is very weird, very concerning. And all this stuff's going on in our country, and you're going, okay, what are we about to see here? Suddenly people are buying tons and tons of like iodide and stuff like that. It's weird. It's weird, Brandon. So I don't know. Get right with Jesus. Vishnu, whoever, Buddha. I'm going with Jesus. But yeah, it's scary, man. It is scary. But I was sitting there this morning going, what is the end game on this whole thing? Like, what are they trying to do? We saw that whole Patriot Front deal. The video that came out last week with the whole Patriot Front, these guys are all marching. I've been around rednecks my whole life. And this is supposed to be this whole new iteration of the Klan. These guys are all looking fit. They're all doing their calisthenics. They're doing their...
There's no fat ones.
There were no fat ones.
Yeah.
And they all, even when they put them in the wrist ties, and they never took their masks off. You never arrest somebody and leave the mask on.
Oh, yeah.
You never apprehend somebody or put their hands behind their back and leave their mask on. But they did that with them. And then they released all these mug shots, which I was like, okay, that's awfully convenient that they, supposedly booked these guys in. And so the Twitter rereads were saying, yeah, look at this, man. These guys, see, they do have mug shots and everything. They arrested them. They took them in. Man, there's actually a video of these guys marching down into the little subway deal, into the underground train deal, and the police stopping the media and the crowds behind them so they can't follow them down there to see who they are and where they're going. There's literally video of that. So at some point in time, I'm starting to get a little suspicious. But just the fact that there wasn't one fat ass in the whole crowd. Because again, I've been around rednecks my whole life. I've been around some, you know what I mean. And if you're going to my point is, if you're going to stereotype them as this new iteration of the Klan and say there's some redneck backwood, one-tooth meth head, white supremacist, white trash trailer park, whatever, there's going to be at least one fat one. There's going to be at least one fat one. There's one guy in there that's had an alien finger up his asshole. These guys apparently have never had that. So, all right. President Trump recently issued a warning from his Mar-a-Lago home. He said, our currency is crashing and will soon no longer be the world standard, which will be our greatest defeat, frankly, in 200 years. Now, there are 3 reasons the central banks are dumping the U.S. dollar: inflation, deficit spending, and our insurmountable national debt. Whew. Now, the fact is, there is one asset that has withstood famine, wars, political and economic upheaval dating back to even before biblical times, and that is gold. And you can own it in a tax-sheltered retirement account with the help of Birch Gold. That's right. Birch Gold will help you convert an existing IRA or 401k, maybe from a previous employer, into an IRA in gold. And the best part is you don't have to pay a penny out of pocket. You just text CHAD, my name, Chad, to 989898 for your free info kit. The telephone number is 989898. You just type my name, Chad, in there and send it as a text message, and you'll get a free info kit, and they'll hold your hand through the whole process. Now, think about this. When currencies fail, gold is a safe haven. How much more time does the dollar have? We don't know. Protect your savings with gold like I did. Birch Gold has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and thousands of happy customers. Text Chad to 989898. Get your free info kit on gold. Again, Chad to 989898. We'll be right back. I don't know. FBI, CIA, they all scare me, Brandon.
They're up to something.
They're up to some
They're up
shit,
to something.
Dude. They're up. I'm telling you, man. Listen, let's talk about. I don't know if you guys have seen the video of the Texas Speaker of the House, Dade Phelan, who I don't have real solid positive feelings towards. I haven't ever. Dade Phelan, the Speaker of the House in the state of Texas. I think he's spineless. I think he's not a Republican. See, what happens is in these state legislatures, a lot of time when you have a Republican governor and majority Republican leadership, they will kind of let the Democrats pick who's going to be the Speaker of the House, and so that makes them feel good about it. And they keep picking Dade Phelan because, well, he's a puss, and so and he's he stands in the way of everything. I mean, for instance, we've just now had legislation they were trying to push through in Texas where Iran and China, the CCP and all that, would not be able to buy land in Texas. And that was going through the House and the Senate. And then Dade Phelan put a stop to it. He vetoed the whole thing, wouldn't let it go to the governor's desk, which in my mind makes you a piece of shit. But the other day, he was doing his ceremonial duties because we have been in our legislative session here in the state of Texas. And let's play the clip of old Dade.
Mr. Speaker, I move adoption.
Mr. Campbell, send the amendment. The amendment is acceptable to the author. Is there objection to the opposite amendment? The chair has none. The amendment is adopted. The chair recognizes Mr. Johnson of Harris. Mr. Johnson of Harris to speak in opposition to the bill.
You want Niave? The chair recognizes Ms. Niave Criado to speak.
The chair recognizes Ms. Niave Criado to speak in opposition to the bill.
Thank you, Ms.
Now, I when I saw that for the first time a couple of days ago, I retweeted it. It pissed me off, dude. Because I'm like, first of all, you're a terrible person, Dade. You're not a Republican. You're not a conservative. You don't represent the values of Texas, and you truly don't. There were legislators out there that I know who were asking us to take that video down, which makes me want to give all of you the middle finger, you bunch of rhino Republicans in the state of Texas. And you've got the people out there who actually said to us, well, he has a medical condition that is onset medical condition. I'm not going to say what they told me it was. To which I respond, bullshit. I've been around drunk people. Just like I've been around rednecks, I've been around drunk people. I know the difference. So if you were adjusting your volume and going, what in the, what are we listening to here? That was a drunk guy who was trying to be the Speaker of the House during a legislative session in the state of Texas, and he's hammered. He can't even remember people's names when he's trying to say it. I mean, just absolutely trashed. And so there's old Dade, man. And this was last Friday evening. Apparently, I guess they thought they were done for the day, and he took off and, started hitting the happy hour bar in the office or something. But he couldn't even recognize colleagues who wished to speak. He's, yeah. So anyway, he was out of sorts. Let's just say that. Repeating himself, slurring some words. Misidentified a female representative as a male colleague. Yeah. And then yesterday had the raw gall to post a picture of himself sitting in the governor's office with old Greg Abbott and Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick. They were sorting it out. Let me just tell you, when I say that the comments underneath that picture were gold, they were fantastic. Somebody under that video said, could you repeat that for the sober people in the back? So, again, this is the Texas Speaker of the House. Apparently, he's been taking notes from Nancy Pelosi.
I mean, hey, you got to give credit to Nancy. She is an alcoholic,
Yeah.
but she performs.
She performed. She knew how to bring it.
Yeah.
She got off of she got off of the bottle and came right to work, man.
Yeah.
And she knew how to function. Dade, not so much.
Yeah. Rookie move.
I got roofied one time. I've been
I like
roofied.
the way that starts.
I think I've been roofied twice in my life. I was with a friend, and I think I know who roofied me the first time. I was with a quote friend, and we went to a Kenny Chesney concert, and it was at the old Turner Field in Atlanta, Georgia, where the Braves used to play.
Uh-huh.
And it was like Gary Allen and Leanne Rimes and Brooks and Dunn and then Kenny Chesney, and they had like Sammy Hagar. This is back when Kenny Chesney did big shows.
Yeah.
I mean, monster shows. I think I made it to the end of Leanne Rimes. I couldn't. I had a Razor flip phone, and I was trying to text you. That's where you have to hit the button multiple times to get over to the letter. Oh, when they finally found me, because I don't get drunk like that. I'll drink. Everybody knows I drink. But I don't get drunk. I don't get stupid. I don't get belligerent. I don't slur. I don't get, I've been to a point where somebody's like, hey, you're not driving tonight, right? And I'm like, nope, not driving. I've been to that point, but again, I'm functional.
Yeah.
I'm functional. I probably could drive in an emergency.
Yeah, if you had to.
But you don't want to go to jail.
Yeah.
You don't want to hurt somebody. You don't want to hurt yourself. But I don't get to that point. If you see me out there acting like that, like what Dade just sounded like there, there's something else going on with me. He literally sounded drugged.
Yeah, it sounded, actually, George and I were talking about this. It sounded like he might have mixed a cocktail with a Xanax or two.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was speaking slurranese, as I like to call it.
Yeah, because there's more going on than just the alcohol there.
Yeah. It's also funny to be like, no, he's got a condition. I was like, yeah, the condition was about 3 shots and a Xanax.
Yeah, there was a condition, all right. So, again, I know that back when that happened to me at that concert, they finally found me. I think I was laying on a sidewalk with my feet out in the street with just buses going past, a flip-flop out in the middle on the yellow stripe. And my friends, when they finally found me, and then I was just, woof. I mean, literally, when you get to that point where you've had some drinks and all of a sudden you don't remember anything for the rest of the night, I mean, that's like a date with Quagmire. You know what I mean? That's bad news. But that's the way Dade was coming across on that whole thing. So anyway, I don't like the guy. I don't like him. Haven't liked him for a long time, ever. Let's be clear on that. And again, doesn't mean I wish him any ill will for his health or anything like that. But that right there, come on, dude. We got to get serious in the state of Texas. I mean, seriously, we're in the legislative session. That thing comes around every other year. You have got to get serious in the state of Texas. We're in trouble, man. Our country's in trouble, and that's what we're putting up in front of. I don't care if it's him or Nancy Pelosi or who it is. We got to deal with this whole thing. But don't worry, we're worried about Bud Light and stuff. my buddy Troy Aikman, I'm gonna name drop. I got mad at Troy because I'm like, dude, he's got his 8 beer, because his number when he played for the Cowboys was 8, and so he comes out. He's got a little commercial now where he says, it's on social media, where he says, everybody's talking about beer companies, but nobody's talking about beer. We just want to make a beer. It's just good effing beer. And he says the word, and they bleep it out. And I'm like, okay, bro, Yingling's already kind of went that route. I know you're trying to be hardcore, Troy, but just comes off inauthentic on this whole deal. But whatever. I hope it sells beer for you. But Bud Light is trying to buy back unsold, expired beer amid the boycott. I've even stopped. I kept saying I don't like using the word boycott. Screw it. Just use it. Just use the word boycott. I don't like the word cancel culture. Let's just use it. Cancel them. I want them to go away completely at this point. And I know people are mad at me because, again, the distributors, you'll find more beer to distribute. Okay, you'll find more beer to distribute, but they're at a point now where they're buying it back. I saw one deal, they were giving like vouchers for people to come buy it. I mean, they're in a tailspin, bro.
Really is such a bad sign when you can't give your product away.
No.
And it's beer. We're probably the most alcoholic country on this planet, and you can't give away free beer.
Yeah. And Texas Speaker of the House Dade Phelan's backing his U-Haul truck right up to the store.
That's true. Maybe he might have gotten some of that free beer, to be honest.
Down there loading up. Oh, driving it to the White House. Good God. I want you to picture for a moment what it would be like if all of a sudden a global medication supply chain of antibiotics just disappeared right before your eyes. And I know there's some people out there, they don't like antibiotics, they don't like big pharma, all that kind of stuff, but I'm telling you, there are people out there who do need medicine. And in a time of emergency, you got to remember that most of the medicine we use in this country, it's manufactured in places like India and China. So if stuff goes south, they're not going to ship it to you. They're going to keep it and take care of their own needs first. So what do you do when all of a sudden you or someone you love needs antibiotics and there simply aren't any to be had? Well, the answer is you should have a supply on hand in case of disaster. The Jace case from Jace Medical is a great way to keep yourself prepared for the worst. It's a pack of 5 different courses of antibiotics that you can use to treat a long list of bacterial illnesses, things like UTIs, respiratory infections, sinusitis, skin infections, and a whole lot more. It's a great way to be ready for shortages, and it's perfect for traveling. Listen, don't get caught unprepared. Go to jacemedical.com, enter code CHAD, I spell it Chad, at checkout. That's promo code Chad at JASE medical.com. JaceMedical.com. We'll be right back. All right, before we go any deeper into this crazy world, let me remind you guys this weekend I will be in Wesley Chapel, Florida. That is northeast of Tampa. Old Party Foul Steve's coming to hang out with me. He'll be over there. And if you're not coming for me, buy tickets and come say hi to Steve. But anyway, he's driving over. But tons of shows coming up. ChadPratherLive.com. The early shows are pretty much sold out there at Wesley Chapel. There's a few tickets left for the late shows. Come hang out. Let's have some fun. And don't forget, go over and visit 76forever.com. We're doing the e-bike giveaway. And we'll have that up next week. It's been like a month delayed on that thing. It's like a $3,000 bike, dude. You can go like... Dude, it's badass. It's like a $3,000 bike. And the thing will go like 30 miles an hour. And it's a bicycle, but you can, if you need to do the electric thing, and God, you can go like forever on that deal. It's a pretty cool thing. It's a substantial vehicle. You can kill yourself on it. But we're doing the giveaway. So if you purchase now, you're automatically entered into the raffle giveaway. So it date backs all the way to, we're backdating it back to last Friday's purchases. So 76forever.com, 76forever.com. And you can get some of the y'all gear, the y'all hats, and we've got some pretty cool stuff coming out. I told them I wanted a new shirt that says, but first tequila. But first whiskey. I wanted some of those shirts done. I don't know if we're going to put those out or not, but I saw Sammy Hagar wearing a shirt like that, and I was like, God, I want that shirt. I want to make that shirt. But first, tequila. That's a pretty good deal. Don't go to Florida, though. Seriously, I'm kidding. Don't go to Florida if you're black. All right? You heard it right here on the Chad Prather Show. The NAACP has now come out. It said, don't go. It's like on the no-fly list for blacks. It is a terrorist state. In fact, there was a Democrat activist that said the exact same thing. Play that clip.
Really appreciate the NAACP's guidance on this issue. I just took my family to spring break in Florida recently, and I think about all of the folks who traveled there for sun and joy and peace and restoration. And to be reminded that actually this is getting to the point where Florida is about to be a terrorist state to many of us here in America. Certainly as a lesbian, as a black woman, I don't want to have anything to do with the place.
Okay. So the sun and fun has suddenly been turned off for you? Like it's because they found out you were black, you can't enjoy any more sun and fun in Florida? This is the type of rhetoric that is so stupid. It has become a terrorist state, according to her. So if you're black, if you're gay, if you're lesbian, all of these things. So I don't know if you understand what it means to be in a terrorist state. Now, you go walking down the streets of Baghdad, there's a good chance you're not coming back with your head. If you're gay in Muslim countries, particularly the more extreme they may be, they will, as you know, throw you off of a building. That is what you're talking about in a terrorist state, when they will stone you to death, behead you, when they will rape you, maim you, murder you, they will mutilate your genitals, the female circumcision, all of these, take multiple wives, slaves. The list goes on and on of the atrocities that are performed in these cultures, and you're going to say Florida, Kissimmee, St. Cloud, Melbourne, Lake Okeechobee, really, Tallahassee? Come on, Fort Walton Beach, Panama City, Destin, those are a terrorist state. The place where you can go buy 3 T-shirts with a tie-dye design of a pelican and a palm tree for $14. You're going to tell me that a place where you can literally wake up and go get mimosas and have brunch on a sunny seaside beach, that's a terrorist state. Are they going to check your papers? Are they going to look at you and say, well, you're black, you're gay, you're lesbian, you can't be here? This is the insanity of the rhetoric that we're living with these days. Why? Because Ron DeSantis has passed bills that said you can't shake your dick in front of a kid when you're dressed up like a drag queen, because you can't talk to children in their schools about sexuality because of that kind of stuff. Are you serious with me right now? And you're going to say this is a terrorist state. This is how out of touch with the real world people are. They have no concept of anything that is actually out there happening on our globe. And it ain't a big globe anymore. You can get on a jet airplane. You can be in India. You can be in Chesterfield, Missouri. You can visit all the Indians in a matter of hours. And you can go see the world. And the fact that we live with people who have never been out in the world to know what it's even all about. I used to go, as you know, to Nigeria. We had to have escorts to take us through Murtala Muhammad Airport because there were people who would land in the airport and they never came out of the airport. They were murdered in the airport in Nigeria. I knew of people who literally never left the airport. They never found their bodies. We used to go through these places. You bribed your way. You don't have to bribe your way down the Sunshine Tollway, whatever you call that damn thing that cost you $400 to go down Central Florida. What's it called? I can't even think of it. But either way, you don't have to do that. They don't stop you all the time and say, okay, you're out. You're being black. Your crime is you're black. I'm telling you, dude. I mean, this is stupid. That's why I wrote this book. Am I crazy? Because the world has lost its freaking mind. Oh, my Lord, have mercy. And I don't know if you guys saw where Hillary Clinton said that Joe Biden's age is an issue. We have a clip of that? Play it real quick.
We've had presidents who've fallen before who were a lot younger, and people didn't go into, heart palpitations. But his age is an issue, and people have every right to consider it. But, he has this great saying, and I think he's right. Don't judge him by running against the Almighty, but against the alternative. And I am, of the camp that I think, he's determined to run. He has a good record that 3 years ago people would not have predicted would have gotten done.
First of all, can we just, the elephant in the room, can we talk about the size of that microphone that she's holding? I mean, that was like a Joe Biden ice cream cone right there, that thing. But his old saying that I like is he's not running against the Almighty. He's running against the alternative. Honey, at 82, he's running from the Almighty. It's closing in on him. The man literally feels the cold fingers of death on his shoulder. He can see the shine off of the sickle as death walks in and the robes sweep past his body. Oh, my God. I mean, it is something we should consider. I mean, he says he's got Ukraine's back. Imagine being such a frail country as you need an 80-year-old, 81-year-old dementia patient to have your back. Oh, this is where we're living. It is a sign and symbol of complete and total weakness. Ah, boy. Listen, don't let them run a U-Haul into your house. They're coming for all of us, folks. Big tech, big data have shown us that time after time that they're not on our side. And yes, we are giving them access to record our personal lives 24/7 through our phones. Even when your phone is off, the microphones and the cameras and the location trackers still work. You ever been in an important meeting? I mean, one that maybe could be, something you don't want that information getting out while you're sitting there having a conversation. I've been in those situations where maybe they're listening in through our phones. All right. It can happen, man. Even if your phone's off, it can happen. So, your personal security when it comes to that crazy ex or stalkers, I've had those. People are trying to blackmail you. Happens more often than you think. So I have a Refuge Ghost sleeve. It's made in America from American buffalo leather. It blocks the 5G signals that other Faraday sleeves miss, and the only Faraday signal, the only Faraday sleeve that blocks signal and sound. Okay, let me get that right. They added the sound blocking panels on each side that keep conversations private. So it's not a clunky metal box that you drop your phone in. It's cool. It's like a nice little wallet, and it's easy to put your phone in and take out of throughout the day whenever you want privacy. So listen, you can't be too careful these days, and the Refuge Ghost Sleeve can help keep you safe. So visit refugeprivacy.com. Use code CHAD. I spell it Chad. It'll save you 10% off your order. That's refugeprivacy.com. Promo code CHAD for 10% off. We'll be right back. So I tweeted the other day that the reason they're keeping people like Fetterman and Dianne Feinstein around is so it makes people like Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi look young and smart and attractive. And we saw what Hillary had to say about Joe. But pay real close attention to what Joe says right here. Play the clip.
With Nancy leading the way, you never had to worry about whether the bill would pass. She said she had the votes. She had the votes every time. She had to vote so many life-changing pieces of legislation. She helped rescue the economy in the Great Depression.
She helped rescue the economy in the Great Depression. She helped rescue the economy in the Great Depression. Good God. You know what? Hey, listen, maybe we're living in a world where reincarnation's a real deal. They just keep bringing these people back. You know what I'm saying?
Just damned to be senators for lifetime after lifetime?
Yeah, these people, this imagine a world. Imagine a world. In a world. Imagine if, like, we are in this matrix bubble and they just keep bringing the power people keep getting reincarnated as new power people. And they know each other. And we're just the peons. We're just kind of like the slave ants because we really are an ant farm at this point. I mean, we really are. If you study an ant farm, it's us. And these are the queen bees. We're just the little workers. We just, and they just send us out to do the thing. And like Nancy was there. She helped save the economy from the Great Depression. But don't worry. We're putting our old people in office. Canada has the right idea. They're killing them off, man. I mean, and they are, it's not funny, dude. But listen, their marketing campaign is solid on this stuff of trying to euthanize grandma. You don't believe me? Watch this clip right here.
What are your thoughts as you like move closer to the date?
It's like the light at the end of the tunnel.
What are some of the precursors, like the questions they ask to make sure you're doing it for the right reasons?
Your diagnosis is, if it's fatal, how many more months you have, They give you time to consider. They keep stressing the fact that you can always change your mind.
What is the actual day like?
I know, like, they set an appointment, special injection, putting you to sleep, and the big pain is the prick in the hand to provide for the little valves, and then once you're in a deep sleep, there are two other injections you get. At that point, you go. So it's painless.
Would you prefer it be at home?
Well, I think in my case, I would like to do it at the hospital. I came in quietly. I'd like to go out quietly.
Are you nervous? Are you excited? How do you feel?
Looking forward to it. Just putting an end to being dependent, no control.
So as the day approaches, is it something you're thinking about every day, or
no,
it's going to happen when it happens?
Yeah, when I'll be ready, I'll know.
Yeah.
I've always made my own decisions for myself. In living, I trust I will in death. I do believe my husband is there saying it's about time. And I'll say, hi, hon, I'm here.
All right. It's a sad deal. I mean, it's almost like they're playing Sarah McLachlan music there with the, like the dogs that are getting euthanized. I mean they're in the arms of the angels,
In Canada, that's what they're doing.
That's exactly what they're doing.
It's wildly dystopian.
It is. I mean, are you nervous about it? No, I'm looking forward to it. Will? Just do it now. I mean, right? I mean,
right.
Like, why wait 4 more days?
There are cheaper ways to do it. Can you imagine going $20,000 in medical debt because grandma didn't have the balls to use a shotgun?
I mean, you're going to leave the debt to the grandchild there. The granddaughter who actually looks transgender. But we're not going to make that a thing. This is a serious issue. We're not going to make that a thing. But this is why people call me an asshole. But I look at this and I go, this glorification of death culture. And if you see, I don't know if you guys got to see the Bill Maher clip from the other night where he was talking about how Justin Trudeau's a piece of garbage and calling him out, talking about how people are, insignificant and unnecessary and things like that. I mean, Trudeau's philosophy is very Hitler-esque. I mean, if you listen to the words that he's actually saying, and we just sweep it under the rug because even Bill Maher's guests on the show were saying, I can't believe that Justin Trudeau said that. And Bill Maher said, did you miss the whole blackface thing? I mean, it's glaring in front of you. You're just choosing not to see it. So when you have a governmental philosophy of death, they're just finding just mark my words, this is just a more antiseptic, sterile method of genocide. That's all it is. They're just letting you choose to get in the oven. They're letting you choose how you want. Well, do you want to die at home or do you want to die in the hospital? I think I'll just stay at the hospital. The worst thing I'll feel is just a prick in my hand when they put the valve in there to put the poisons in me in order to stop my heart. This is morbid, dude. And I get it. The debate has raged on for years. Should you be able to choose how you want to go out? I can. That's one thing, dude. If you're making the choice to be free enough to do your own thing, but when it's being governmentally marketed and promoted as this desirable thing, wow, that's scary. They're actually encouraging people to take this route. We got to get rid of some people, man. And that's their philosophy, is we want you to just choose it. But don't worry. Don't worry. The stupid people among us are not ever going to choose that. Speaking of stupid people, Kamala Harris had this to say about smartphones. Play that clip, please.
Without semiconductors, your smartphone would not be a smartphone. It would be a paperweight that occupies a big space in your pocket.
She is a paperweight.
Oh, my God. I've never heard someone say a fact and also sound retarded at the same time. Because what she's saying is true, but it's also so very, very dumb.
Your phone would be a paperweight. And they laugh. Ah! It takes up a very big space in your pocket.
I really kind of want to just mess around and give her the last 6 months of Biden's term.
Yeah.
Just because I'm curious to see what she would do. Not long enough to do any lasting damage, but just enough to make her get wild.
She may surprise you.
Oh, yeah.
She may surprise you. She's dumber than a paperweight. Her analogies astound me.
She's somehow getting dumber by the day.
Oh, no, they're talking about drugged. Oh. They're killing her slowly. I mean, they mix grandma with Dade Phelan in Texas, and that you get Kamala right there. All right, guys, you've heard me talk about the Texas superfood now. When you get a naturopathic doctor like Dennis Black, who is a guy you can trust, we've known him for a lot of years through other things that he has put together, and we love his products, but he's a Texan. He's a veteran. He's an expert in helping people get healthier. He put his mind into helping make your diet better, and Texas Superfood is the result. It is a vine-ripened, antioxidant-rich supplement that uses raw fruits and vegetables, and whether you're using it in capsule or a powder form, you're going to get all the benefits of putting the right nutrients from the right fruits and vegetables into your body. Look, I don't eat right. I know I don't eat right. I'm trying. I try so hard. But you don't eat right either, so let's stop pretending like we do. Let's supplement our diet with some good stuff that we trust. The beautiful thing is in this day and age, you can supplement your diet with healthy things like Texas Superfood. And you can go on your day just a little bit healthier with a better peace of mind knowing that you took care of yourself. So I take Texas Superfood every day. I feel great. I don't worry as much about my diet because I know that with Texas Superfoods, my body has what it needs to keep me functioning at my best. So I want you to give them a try as well. Try them at TexasSuperfood.com. That's TexasSuperfood.com, and we will be right back. All right, guys. Another day is come and gone. Whew. Listen, if you see a U-Haul truck, get out of the way, all right? Coming over, the terrorists, the white supremacists, I should say, which are all the same thing, according to Joe Biden, driving over from Chesterfield, Missouri. Oh, my gosh. Stay safe out there, people. Keep your head on a swivel. Oh, man. ChadPratherLive.com. Go check it out. You see my shirt, Real Women Don't Have Balls. Boom, there it is. You can get that at realwomensclub.com. And there's all kind of fun stuff out there, guys. We're just having fun with it. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at WatchChad. And please, please go leave a rating and a review where podcasts are offered so that we can continue to climb in the podcast rankings. It helps. And subscribe at blazetv.com/Chad. Use promo code Chad and trust the fact that I love you. And I really do. God bless you guys. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.